or 4 easy payments of $5.95 for members with Klarna, or 4 interest-free installments of $7.95 by Afterpay, or as low as $13 a month with 0% APR with Affirm. You ever been shopping online and see any of these phrases? Wonder how it works? Know how it works? Well, hello my friend, this is Ruben. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how these buy now, pay later options work, how they can hurt you, and how they can help you given the recent changes and how the credit bureaus are looking at them. At the end, I'll share with you my honest opinion on these buy now, pay later options. Zip, Affirm, Sezzle, PayPal, Afterpay. All of these companies have these weird fancy names to make it look as if they're brand new, when in fact, buy now, pay later options existed way before when. With the rise of consumerism, these options have been available in the US for quite a while now. Granted, back in the day, these options weren't as easy and simple as they are now. And in fact, they really weren't for those high fashion Gucci belts, or those street clothes from your favorite streetwear designer, or even that store brand coat from your nearest big box store. In fact, the majority of these historic options were for big, large purchases, like stoves, refrigerators, laundry machines, things like that. What is a buy now, pay later? How does it work? Imagine this. You're out of the house for the first time in a while, watching House of Gucci starring Adam Driver as Gucci, wearing that iconic Gucci belt. And now you're watching, and all of a sudden you're telling yourself, you know what? I really want that belt. No, I need that belt. So after the movie, you get on your phone and you check it out, and you find out that that belt is $395. That's when you see it, paying 3 interest-free payments with Affirm. Well, hey, that's only around $130 a month over 3 months, and there's no extra fees and no interest either. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? You select the method, the Gucci belt arrives, you pay it off over the next 3 months in 3 interest-free payments, and you didn't miss any payments. No harm, no foul, no extra fees involved. You might be wondering, well, why would Affirm allow you to do this? Why is any BNPL company doing this? How are they actually making money? Well, the BNPL companies have agreements with the merchants, aka Gucci, Kohl's, Target, any big box store, your favorite streetwear designer, really any company that wants to work with these companies. Now, in these agreements, they state that the BNPL company can charge a fee of approximately 2 to 8% of the purchase price to the merchant. So in our situation, Affirm works with Gucci in that they charge a 5% fee of the purchase price to Gucci. You, the consumer, still buy the Gucci belt at $395, and Gucci still gets most of the profits, but except they actually have to pay a fee of $19.75 or 5% of the purchase price to Affirm. It didn't cost you an extra penny, but Affirm just made 5% basically by lending you money over 3 months. This is also given the fact that you paid on time. If you don't pay on time, some of these companies can actually collect extra fees against you, not Gucci. Alright, so we're seeing how Affirm makes money, but why would Gucci allow Affirm to be used as a payment method when every single time you buy a Gucci belt, they have to pay $19.75? Realistically, statistically, in all these ICLEs, the more payment methods offered on a site, the more likely you, the consumer, will purchase something. Think about it this way. You want to buy a Gucci belt for $395, but the only way you can pay is by cash via mail. So you get $395 from the bank, you put it in an envelope, and you ship it off. It gets to them about 1 or 2 days, and then you get your product in about 3 to 4 weeks. Just think of how long that process would be, and in your mind, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to buy this Gucci belt. Thank you, but no thank you. Now that's where other options come in. Say a credit card or a debit card. You're like, oh wait, that was easy. You can just swipe your card, input the data, whatever it is, and bam, your Gucci belt is on its way. The more payment methods you add, the less barrier there is to purchase. The more likely you, the consumer, are going to buy things. Even more so now with Affirm and these other BNPL companies, there has been proven fact that the AOV, or the average order value, has increased. Basically what it's saying is if you're given this option of Affirm or Klarna or any of these companies, you're more likely to buy more things. So instead of 1 Gucci belt, you're going to buy 2 or 3 Gucci belts. Gucci just made more money, and you don't feel like it's hurting your wallet because it's spread out over time. And Affirm just made 5% on the whole sale. Win, win, and win. Or is it? There are about 3 things that you should really look out for when selecting a BNPL option. The first thing is, it satisfies the immediate gratification urge. You're watching House of Gucci, you see Adam Driver, he's wearing the iconic Gucci belt. You get out of the movie, you go on your phone, you buy it with Affirm, and bam, Gucci belt is at your house by the time you get home. Wow, like that. That has satisfied your immediate gratification urge. You don't need to wait. You're more likely to buy those things outside of your needs and closer to your wants, and there's less thinking involved. It allows you, almost gives you permission to purchase without thinking. It tells you, you know what? You can buy it now, have it now, and worry about it later. Now, the second thing you have to look out for is if you miss a payment on one of these buy now, pay later options. While a lot of these BNPL options don't check your credit whether or not you can use them, they do report it if you miss a payment. It could actually harm your credit pretty bad. I don't think you want a negative mark on your credit report because you missed a payment for a Gucci belt. It might be whether or not you get an apartment or you don't get an apartment. You know, it could be the difference between putting down 1 month of a security deposit or 3 months of a security deposit. Let's say you don't care about credit reports. Fine. But if you do miss a payment, some of these BNPL options will give you less favorable terms the next time you want to use them. For example, let's say you miss a payment on the Gucci belt. Well, Affirm next time says, you know what? We're not going to give you an interest-free installment. We're going to charge you 30% interest instead. That Gucci belt went from $395 to about $550. That's not good. Or even worse, they could decide not to let you use their service at all. Affirm can be like, you know what? Since you missed that Gucci payment, we're not going to let you use us anymore. So good luck. Now the third thing, and I think it's one of the most important things, is that mentally it can be the same thing as holding on long-term debt. Because think about this. Every single month, every single week that you might have to make a payment, you have to keep thinking about the payment. The first time you purchase the Gucci belt, you think about it. The second time the second payment comes out, you think about it. The third time the third payment comes out, you think about it. Every single week, all you're thinking about is when is that payment coming out? Is that payment coming out today? Is it coming out tomorrow? Okay, it's coming out on Thursday. All right, make sure I have enough money. Everything is set. All right, I'm wearing the Gucci belt. All right, the payment's coming out again. I got to remember that. And then what happens if you have other options as well? Let's say you bought a Gucci belt, but also you bought some Adidas shoes and you bought a Kohl's coat with all Klarnas and Affirms and Sezzle and all these other companies. Well, now you got 3 things you have to keep track of. And it just keeps adding and adding and adding and adding and adding. Next thing you know, you're getting stressed out. You know? You're just like, oh, I got all these payments. I gotta keep track of them. I gotta make sure the money is in. I gotta make sure I don't miss one, because if I miss one, guess what? Bam, it hits my credit report. Bam, I can't use it again. Bam, I don't know what's going on. The truth is, a lot of people are gonna stop at this section and say that's it. But look, I'm not here to tell you what you should do with your money. I'm only here to show you what you can do with your money. So with that, here are 4 upsides of using a BNPL option. In the past, you successfully paying on these interest-free loans meant nothing. They wouldn't report them to the 3 credit bureaus. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. It'd just be nothing. It just means next time using one of these options, they'll be like, all right, you can use this again. But now in recent development, each 3 of these credit bureaus have indicated that they're gonna give the option to companies to actually report the successful payments on your credit report. This is great for people who don't have access to a credit card. It allows your credit score to rise and nearly solves the chicken and egg problem when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. You know that I need a high credit score in order to get a credit card, but I need a credit card in order to build my credit. Well, now you got these buy now, pay later options. Or for those who don't want to use a credit card, they have now a better option, so that way their credit score can rise when they need to get an apartment. Now, the second upside is that there are actually limits to prevent you from purchasing too much using these options. These companies constantly reevaluate whether or not you can use their option based on you and the economy as a whole. In fact, if you already have a purchase with them, they may say, you know what? We're not going to loan you money again until you pay off this one. Whereas with a credit card, you just have a credit line and that's it. You can buy, and no one is really double checking whether or not you can pay it off. These BNPL companies are basically making the option of continuous purchasing very limited for you. The third upside is that it could be a better fit for your budget or how you spend your money. Maybe you budget $150 a month for clothes, and rather than waiting 3 months to buy that Gucci belt, you decide that you're going to use that money every single month to make a payment on the Gucci belt and buy it today using one of these BNPL options. The beauty about your money is that it is that. It is your money. You can decide how you budget it and how you spend it. Now, the fourth upside. All right, I'm using the Gucci belt as an example, but if there's some item that you genuinely really need, I'm talking about need. Your stove could go out, your heater could stop working, your refrigerator could stop running, and if you don't have the money right now to fork up and actually get these items, one of these options that come in and say, hey, 0% interest, they could be a real lifesaver. After learning how these buy now, pay later options work, it's no wonder that everyone is starting to use them more. It's no wonder that we're seeing a lot of companies offer these options. They're becoming very popular. Now, my personal own opinion, I actually tend to avoid these buy now, pay later options because I know for myself that I'll actually increase that AOV or average order value and I'll actually buy not one Gucci belt but 2 or 3. I will expose myself here and say that my phone is on a payment plan with Verizon. It's built into the cost of my monthly phone plan and it costs me no money. In fact, it actually costs me about 2 cents less because I did the math. At the end of the day, I really see these buy now, pay later options even expanding into other types of businesses. And in fact, I think that there's going to be more rules and regulations added with them, and maybe even a fee for customers to use them. I really want to reiterate that your money is your money for a reason. You can choose what you want to do, when you want to do, and how you want to do it. So if you want to use these BNPL options, by all means, go ahead and use them. Just like those buy now, pay later companies, here's another thing that's interest-free, and that's clicking that subscribe button and liking this video. And comment below if you ever used a buy now, pay later method. Thanks for watching, and until tomorrow.